Look, I thought I was done with it. I thought it was over for me. I thought I wasn't going to talk about it anymore. I thought I'd said everything I wanted to say about the great tipping debate. But just like The Godfather, once you get out, they draw you back in. And somebody hit me with this question and reminded me that the cruise lines, they charge gratuity for children, the ittle bitty babies. Should cruise lines assign gratuities to kids? On today's episode of Cruise War... Jenny? Okay, it's not Cruise Wars. Let's just call it, should the cruise lines assign gratuities to the wee itty bitty babies, to children? Let's talk about it. All right, so first of all, I spent the last few videos maybe over here. I think I'm gonna move around today. So if you're somebody that's susceptible to not liking the move around videos, it's coming at you. But hang loose, because I think we got some fire content coming your way. Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido Loca. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you are new here, or if you've been here for a while, the main thing is if you like cruising content, this is the exchange we're making. If you like cruising content, I'm gonna give it to you. The easiest way to get it is to subscribe to the channel. So that's right. Today it's going to be about the children. Not to over-sensationalize it, but it's about our future. We need to talk about the cruise lines assigning gratuities to our wee, little, beautiful children. If you don't know what assigned gratuities are, it's the way the cruise line supplements the income for their employees. All the major cruise lines will charge you a daily fee per person when you're on the cruise ship. It shows up on your shipboard account, and it'll be anywhere between $12 and $20 a day per person on a cruise, and it even includes children on most cruise lines. I do have the actual facts so that you can know what your favorite cruise line does. Let me grab my phone here, and I'll read off the different cruise lines and how they deal with children, and then we will debate whether or not this is correct or incorrect, right or wrong. It's black and white. It's not black and white. Hold on, let me grab my phone. Okay. Carnival Cruise Lines, guests under 2 years old don't have to pay the gratuity. So if you're 2 or older, they're going to hit you with a gratuity. Celebrity Cruise Lines, all the guests have to pay. That was like a Jedi mind trick. All the guests have to pay a gratuity. Disney, the House of Mouse, Mickey and his merry band of revelers. The kids on that cruise line, they all have to pay gratuity. Holland America, all guests pay gratuity. Norwegian, guests under 3 years old, they're exempt. MSC Cruise Lines, they have an interesting. If you're 2 years old or younger, no gratuity. If you're between 2 and 12, half gratuity. If you're over 12, full gratuity. Princess, it seems like they would give kids a break because they have a cool name the kids like. Everybody pays a gratuity on Princess. And finally, Royal Caribbean, all the guests pay a gratuity. So how about that? I've heard the outrage. I've seen it out there on the internet. Why is the cruise lines charging me gratuities for my lovely kids? I think it's a fair question. I'm going to look at the reasons why and the reasons why not. And maybe you guys can help me decide, or let's decide as a community what's right and what's wrong. So the first reason I want to lay out as to why I think the cruise lines charge children gratuities is because children receive services. It's pretty straightforward. Like, the cruise line says anybody who receives service needs to be charged a gratuity. So let's think about it. Do children have their own beds? Yeah, most of the time in a cruise ship, if you got 4 people in your cabin, you might have them pull down beds or a couch that pops out. The room steward's got to clean that thing up. Kids need towels. They leave messes. So the room steward's definitely going to be taking care, giving service to your kids. And likewise, people that serve food are probably going to be doing something for your kids. If you go sit down in the MDR, they're going to bring plates and take away plates and anything else that they're going to bring and take away from the table. Well, your kids are going to get service. And those are the main things that tipping usually takes care of, at least the assigned gratuities. Usually takes care of your room steward and food service. So your kids are going to get some service, so hence, therefore, and ergo, shouldn't they be charged the same service fee as everybody else? That's one reason why cruise lines may charge gratuities for kids. And another one is one of those popular, outrage type things. They're doing it just for more money. They're taking advantage of the children. They're taking advantage of parents with children. They're taking advantage of families They're charging the wee babies gratuities, and it's not right. It's just a greedy money grab. I've seen that, and I think that's less valid than kids get service, but that's out there. Some people may believe that. And that's it. I don't know any other reasons why you would think the cruise lines charge kids gratuity. I can't think of anything else, but let's jump over to why the cruise lines should not charge children gratuity. Now, I don't know that these are as based in logic as the children get service argument, but let's go through them anyways. The number one reason that I hear that children should not be charged gratuity is because they're children. They don't have jobs. They don't have money. They're not paying customers. They're not engaged in the whole coming on a cruise process. They're just getting drug along by their parents. Therefore, why are we charging kids gratuity? It doesn't make sense. It's not like we're going to charge them taxes on their income because they got no income. Why are we doing it? I hear that one sometimes. Number two that I hear sometimes is we shouldn't pay gratuities for kids because dagnabbit, we've already paid so much money. Why is the cruise line charging me extra money? I already got to pay gratuities for myself. I got to pay gratuities for my wife. Now I got to pay gratuities for my kids. Don't you have enough of my money? I hear that one. And then the third one is children require less services than adults. I don't know what kind of perfect kids you guys have, but I raised 6 kids, and my kids are needy. My kids are messy. My kids were loud. My kids would get into stuff. And I think they were pretty good kids. So unless you got some, perfect kids that don't do anything, I would be hard pressed to say that kids require less service than adults. I would almost say the kids require more service than adults. Now I know some people are going to say, I take care of my own kids. I clean up my own kids' mess. But I think that's a great big assumption to say that everybody lives that life. I did what I could to make sure that my kids weren't rowdy, they weren't out of control, that I cleaned up after them. But I know there were times when we would take everybody out, all 6 of them out to a restaurant, and some poor server at the end of the meal was picking up way too many crumbs, cleaning up way too many spills, and that was with us trying to do a good job of making sure our kids weren't out of control. So, I don't know if that argument holds up that kids require less service. I'm gonna lay on the side that say I think kids require more service. Send your hate mail to Tony@lidoloca.com. And look, while I'm making people mad, let me just say this. Every time I put out one of these tipping videos, every time I put a video out that says, why are the cruise lines charging more for the drink package? I always get this response. If you don't like it, you don't have to go. You don't have to go on a cruise. If you don't like it, just don't do it. Do you guys not understand how the internet works? We're having a conversation here. We're trying to have a conversation as a community. Obviously, you are correct. If you do not like it, you do not have to go. But how fun of a conversation is that? I guess we could get back to arguing about important things like politics and religion, or we can have fun talking about the cruise life. I hate when you have to explain why the content exists. I resist doing it, but they pile up, right? If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. No doubt. No doubt. It's like, I wish I didn't have to read these comments that don't make sense, but I do that anyways. So let's all get together and watch these videos. How about that? Is that too harsh? Virtual hug. I don't mean it. I don't mean it. We're all good. Does it seem egregious? Does it seem outrageous? Does it fly in the face of goodness that the cruise line are charging our wee babies, our toddlers, our little ones, our youth, our future gratuities? Are they out of line? Or is it simple that anybody who gets service has to pay the piper? It's a tough one. I don't like the tipping thing. And as a matter of fact, let me give you this nugget. If you're somebody that doesn't like to pay gratuities for your kids, if you're somebody that doesn't like to pay gratuities at all, if you don't like to cruise with kids, there is a new cruise ship coming out next year, the Scarlet Lady by Virgin Voyages. No gratuities and no kids. So if you got kids, maybe that's off the table for you. But there are options coming into the cruising space, and I'm interested to see if it makes enough of a wave. How about that? How it fits right into the cruising motif. If it makes enough of a wave to change this great cruising debate. But yeah, I couldn't leave it alone. We had to talk about the children. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And look, I've done several of these tipping videos. If you love to get right into the middle of the great cruising debate, I put a playlist together. You can jump up there and watch the playlist and watch all the conversation we've had about tipping. It's kind of fun. Look, I know if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. I get it. Go watch the video. This is Tony for Lido Loca. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you on Lido.